Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. A lot of people have been asking me, need to add some weight to my racket. Where should I add it? Stay tuned. Hey guys, do you need help organizing your tennis life? Well, think Go! We got the Axiom line here, the 9-pack duffel, my favorite bag, the 9-pack Axiom 2.0. They even make a 12-pack if you're going on tour. And my favorite backpack of all time. I love that bag. So if you want to organize your tennis life, think Go. All right, guys, so coffee sponsor of today is, it says someone, but I think he put his name on the bottom. So I'm 48 years old and just got back into tennis after a long hiatus since my teenage years. Advice on current best intermediate player racket for baseliner that loves topspin. Also, what strings would you put on it? Thanks and keep up the entertaining, insightful videos. Ahmed from Australia. All right, Ahmed. Couple things come to mind for you. I really like the new Wilson Shift in the regular version, 99, for you. And I really like the Yonex V-Core 100 for you. I think those would be two great intermediate spin-friendly rackets. On the string side, I would start with like a Head Velocity or a Gamma Professional Spin before going into the polyesters. If you really want to go into a polyester, go with my favorite, Confidential, and go with 17 gauge, or mix it with one of the other multis like Velocity or Gamma Professional Spin. Tension on the multi, I would probably do 52. If you're gonna go poly, go 50. If you're gonna blend it, go 52. Okay, that's pounds. You can convert it. I'm not sure what you guys use in Australia. All right. So Ahmed, good luck. Welcome back to the game, and happy playing with your baseline spin type of game. All right. If you want to be my coffee sponsor of the day, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. If you want to just support the channel, super thanks is the way. Link is below. Thank you guys so much. All right. So a lot of people have been asking me, where should I add lead to my tennis racket? I feel like I need a little bit of weight. What about counterbalancing the weight that I add on? What's best for me? So I usually like to tell people that 3 and 9 is pretty basic, and it usually works for, I would say, a good amount of people. But I think that if you just want to add weight in general, we should probably start a little lower on the frame. And I always tell people, count 6 holes, 6 grommets, and just kind of go from there. I mean, these 6 are pretty far apart, so maybe in this case we go 5. Okay, so 5 here. Now, I'm telling people to start low because we want to maintain head weight, right, being here and not up here. The farther up we put it, the more you're going to feel it drop, like the head's going to drop a little bit. We want to maintain the throat weight that it throws out first, and then the head speed that it ends on the top with. Therefore, I tell people, we want to be here, but some people need it here to start. If you want that whipping sensation, the head speed, let's say. So I'll show you what I do. Because a lot of people still, when they watch, they don't understand. So I'm going to put it sideways here. In this case, we're going to go 5. So there to there. Okay? Let's see if okay, so I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. Okay? So that's all I'm going to do. Cut that there. Okay, that's just regular lead, guys. Nothing special. And then I'm going to split this in half. There's some that's already 1/4 of an inch that's already been split. These are more available. So I'm going to go here. Okay, I'm going to put it on the outside first, and then I'm going to show you on the inside. Okay? So I'm going to put it here and here. So this is just a sticker. I may have measured a little bit too much. You can just peel that off and just snip that off. But this really isn't a whole lot. Okay? Now, I could probably take this off at this point and move it up to here, which would be more of a 3 and 9 up here. Or I can move it here to 10 and 2. So the higher up I go, the more I'm going to feel it in the head. The more it's going to take over when I start my swing. Putting it here will allow you a little more head speed. Okay? So it'll lead with the throat and then finish with the head speed on the top. Okay? So I do it here, and then I take it to the other side, and I do it to the same thing. Okay, so here to here. Same thing. Split it like so. And make sure I line it up. Sorry, let me take a look. So here to there. And then here to here. Okay. All right. I wouldn't worry about, a little here or a little there. They look like they're substantial, but they really don't weigh a whole lot. I mean, if we were to take both of these and put it here or up here, yeah, definitely it'll make this racket drop. But where they are right now, we're able to actually feel it through here, but not at the extreme of the top of the racket. So if you want to just add regular lead and just feel your racket with a little more weight, this is the ideal spot. Over here, you'll feel it more. Okay. Now, a lot of people also ask me, I want to add weight to my racket, but I want to counterbalance it in the handle. Well, we take what we added here, okay, and we just put it in the handle, like in its lowest part. Now, before we want to make it permanent, meaning take all of this off, including the base grip, and put it underneath into the actual racket itself, we want to test it, okay? We want to make sure this is how we want it. Therefore, if you use an overgrip, take the overgrip off and put it on the 4 major bevels. Okay, so we got this much. And this much. Okay. Actually, we could just put it on the 2 major bevels because you'll feel it. So what I have is equal parts in the lead. This is what I added to each of the sides here. So now we're going to counterbalance it. So you like the weight of your racket, you just need some more weight, right? So I'm not going to take this plastic off, but let's pretend this plastic is off. We're just going to put it here, just like that. The major bevel. This is paper. Okay, the major bevel. And then we take the other half, flip it over. And we put it right here. So the major flat, the flat bevel on each side. And then you put an overgrip on it. And what have you got? Ooh, I think you got a perfectly counterweighted racket. So I would keep this here, okay? See how it plays with this here. If you like how it plays and like the spin and the shape that it gives you, we'll keep it. It's perfect, okay? The only thing is you might want to tuck this in underneath that base grip. If you want more plow, start moving this up, okay? Start moving it up. Like in this center area here, like if you go 3 and 9, it's probably gonna flatten your ball out a little bit more. As you go higher, it's gonna drive the ball a little bit more and maybe flatten it out even more too, okay? As you go up into the top, right, it's definitely gonna drive more. Ideally, if you want to, like a really, really counter-weighted racket, top and bottom, but then you kind of lose out on a little bit of maneuverability. As you go lower, you get the faster head and the easier kind of shaped, you can shape the ball a little bit easier by maneuvering the racket a little bit more like this. At the top, it's going to want to drive through a little bit more. Okay, so this is the easy way to counterbalance your tennis racket with lead. Okay, don't worry about measuring it out too much. Do the 6 holes or the 5 holes, depending on how far they are. If you're really worried, start with 4 holes, okay? And then counterbalance it back in the handle. So remember, we're going to put an overgrip on this, and this is just a test phase. If you really think you're going to like it, take the grip off and put it underneath into the racket. Okay, so this is the most basic, simple way of adding weight to your racket and making it play like how you may want it to, okay? So you can be like me and pretty much lead up your whole racket. I started here and I wound up here. There was 4 lines of lead in each of the major bevels. Thank God, Solinco did, 10 grams of weight in the butt cap, so I didn't have to do that anymore. But yeah, that's a lot of lead, and sometimes you get addicted to weight. If you're old school like me, you just want a heavy racket. All right, so try it out, get a little lead, and tinker with your own racket. It's not that hard. All right, guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.